Pavel Andreyevich Chekov is a fictional character in the Star Trek universe. Walter Koenig portrayed Chekov in the second and third seasons of the original Star Trek series and first 7 Star Trek films. Anton Yelchin portrays the character in the 2009 Star Trek reboot film and sequels, Star Trek Into Darkness and Star Trek Beyond. Origin. Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry wanted to include a younger cast member, to appeal to teenage audiences. With a second season of Star Trek to be produced, Roddenberry interviewed Walter Koenig on the recommendation of director Joseph Pevney. After casting Koenig, Roddenberry wrote a letter to Mikhail Zimyanin, editor of Pravda, informing him of the introduction of a Russian character, and an NBC press release announcing the character at the time stated that it was in response to a Pravda article. Koenig always denied the Russian origin story and said the character was added in response to the popularity of the Monkees' Davy Jones, and the character's hairstyle and appearance are a direct reference to this. Roddenberry had previously mentioned, in a memo to his casting director, a desire to have someone reminiscent of one of the Beatles or Monkees on the show. After Paramount Television signed Koenig to a contract because of the number of fan letters he received as Chekov, Roddenberry wrote in another memo, "Kirk and Spock and the others actually seem rather middle-aged to the large youthful segment of our audience. We badly need a young man aboard the Enterprise. We need youthful attitudes and perspectives. Chekov can be used potently here." In actuality, Koenig is only 5 years younger than co-stars Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner. The episode, Amok Time, which was the first episode aired during the second season, was Chekov's first television appearance. Because of budgetary constraints, the character did not appear in the animated Star Trek depiction. Pavel Andreyevich Chekov was born in 2241 in Russia and is a young and naive ensign who first appeared on screen in the original series' second season as the Enterprise's navigator. According to Roddenberry, he is an extraordinarily capable young man, almost Spock's equal in some areas. An honor graduate of the Space Academy, Chekov also substitutes for Mr. Spock at the Science Officer Station when necessary. His promotion to lieutenant for Star Trek, the motion picture, brings with it his transfer as the ship's tactical officer and chief of security. By the events of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Chekov is executive officer aboard the US Reliant. In that film, Khan Noonien Singh uses a creature that wraps itself around Chekov's cerebral cortex to control him and his captain. Chekov overcomes the creature's mind control and serves as Enterprise tactical officer in the film's climactic battle. Although Khan recognizes Chekov in the film, the Chekov character is not a visible part of the crew during Space Seed, the first season episode that introduces Khan. Adaptations. From text to screen, screen to text calls this the apparent gaffe notorious throughout Star Trek fandom. Koenig joked that Khan remembered Chekov from the episode after he took too long in a restroom Khan wanted to use. Chekov is an accomplice in Kirk's unsanctioned use of the Enterprise to rescue Spock in Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, but is exonerated in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. He serves as navigator and second officer aboard the Enterprise A during the events of Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, and Star Trek Y, The Undiscovered Country. The character's final film appearance is as a guest aboard the Enterprise B on its maiden voyage in Star Trek Generations. Spin-off novels show a continued career path, but these are not considered canon in the Star Trek universe. Novels written by William Shatner detail that Chekov reaches the rank of admiral, and even serves as commander-in-chief of Starfleet. Reboot films. The 2009 Star Trek film creates an alternate timeline in the franchise. In this timeline, Anton Yelchin's portrayal presents Chekov as a 17-year-old prodigy whose mathematical ability proves instrumental in a few events within the film, and whose accent provides some of the film's comic relief. In the sequel, Star Trek Into Darkness, Chekov finds himself promoted to chief engineer after Scotty resigns. When Kirk orders him to put on a red shirt, a brief sting is heard as a close-up shows Chekov's nervous face, playing on the reputation of red shirts in the franchise as much as the character's shock regarding his sudden promotion. Fan productions. Walter Koenig would reprise his role as Chekov 12 years after Star Trek Generations in the fan-created series New Voyages. In the episode To Serve All My Days, he would reprise the character again in Star Trek Renegades as 143-year-old Admiral Chekov, the newly appointed head of Section 31. He has stated that should there be a sequel, he would reprise Chekov and then retire from the role. Andy Brate portrayed a younger Chekov in that episode. Koenig returned as Chekov in the online miniseries Star Trek of Gods and Men.